For the first time ever, welcome to my YouTube channel! My name is Blair and I am the owner of Blair's Bling. This is my first ever YouTube video and I just can't believe I'm finally getting around to filming this and uploading it. I have had this YouTube channel for quite some time now. I have been posting YouTube shorts and from those I have gained a large community here, so I figured, okay, let me give them a little bit more. I feel like the majority of you watching this probably know me through Instagram. Instagram is definitely the platform that I have put all of my time and energy into. I've been posting content to Instagram for, it's been 4 years now, but I've been consistently posting content for about 2 years now, and because of that I have built such a large community over there. It truly feels like a family instead of a following, and I'm just so thankful for that platform. So if you're here from Instagram, I love you so much. I want to give you a big hug. If you don't follow it, it's Blair's.bling. I've known for a while that I've wanted to create YouTube videos because on Instagram I am under a time limit. I only have 1.5 minutes for reels. I know there's another way to go about posting longer reels, but I don't think Instagram is a long form content platform. I don't think I've ever posted a reel that was longer than 2 minutes, and I never will. And YouTube, I could make this video an hour if I wanted to. I'm not, but I could. I feel like when it comes to YouTube, there are no rules. I know there's really no rules for other social media platforms, but in my mind there are, because I'm so strictly business on my other platforms that I feel like on YouTube I want to do a little mix of Blair's Bling and Blair. Like, hello. So maybe this should be called like Blair and her bling. I decided for my first video that I would sit down with you guys and explain how I started my small business. I'm gonna give a little backstory that's going to lead up to the beginning of Blair's Bling. For as long as I can remember, I've always worn jewelry. My mom put jewelry on me and my sister when we were itty bitty babies. Looking back on our baby photos, we are always wearing a little bracelet, a ring, and earrings. My ears were pierced at 5 months old. My mom's dad, my papa, was a watchmaker and he owned a jewelry store. That's why my mom was really big into jewelry and why she always had jewelry on us. And fast forward to about middle school, I don't really know what sparked it, but I started wearing a ring on every single finger and like multiple rings on a finger. It became like a big thing with my friends. They started keeping count of how many rings I could wear on both of my hands at one time. And I believe my highest count was 21, and that was set my senior year of high school. And anytime I would go to the mall with friends, I would spend my money on more rings. They were the cheap little rings. They weren't any good quality stuff. This went throughout the rest of middle school, into high school, and even into college. So fast forward, it is now December 2020. I had moved out of my parents' house and into my very first apartment. At the time, I was in college and I had a little babysitting job, and that was my only source of income. After moving out of my parents' house, I quickly realized I want to find a hobby. It didn't take me long to figure out that I wanted to make rings. It was a few days after Christmas. I used some of my Christmas money and I went to the craft store. I bought some really cheap wire and a pack of beads. The store did not have a ring sizer, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna figure something else out. And I came home, opened up the wire, opened up the beads, and I started making rings. For my ring sizer, okay, yeah, back up. I used a chapstick tube and I was like, well, that's circular, I'm gonna use that. My first rings were not my best work. I share pictures of them sometimes on my Instagram. I'll share some pictures here. There's a lot of exposed wire going on. My goal that night was to continue making rings until I made one that I would buy. I was so determined. I tell everyone when I tell the story back, I had wire, beads, a chapstick tube, and a whole lot of determination. And that's when I made this one. I think this was my 5th or 6th ring. It really did not take me long to kind of figure it out. That's another thing, I'm completely self-taught. A lot of people don't know that and don't realize that. As soon as I made that ring, I sent a photo to my mom, my sister, and a few of my other friends. Some of them responded, they're like, Blair, like, you should really keep going at that. Like, that looks really good. And a lot of them actually suggested that I make an Instagram profile and post about what I was making. This is now January 2021. So by this time I was like, okay, if I'm gonna keep doing this, I need to get a real ring sizer, a ring mandrel. So I ordered one and it came in on January 5th. January 5th is the same day that I started my Blair's Bling Instagram account. I was like, let's just do this. Let's see what happens. And my plan for the Instagram account was to post photos of what I had been making. I was truly going to use it as a portfolio account. And I decided to share this account to my personal Instagram. People immediately started following it and they started messaging me. And they asked me how much my rings were. I had no clue what I was doing. Let me just say that. But I knew that I could not say, oh, I'm not selling them. Who allowed me to tell these people a price? I don't know. But I told myself, you're gonna figure it out. The same day that I started the Blair's Bling Instagram, the same day that I got my ring mandolin, is the same day that I got 20 orders. First day of my small business. I didn't even know I was starting a business, but the first day of my business, I got 20 orders. All of the orders that I was receiving, I was doing custom rings. I would send a picture of all of the beads that I had, and I'm like, hey, zoom in, see what you like, circle a few, and I'll send you close-ups of those. The pack of beads that I bought, there were no two beads that were the same. So no one had the same ring, essentially. And I had no, like, set rings. Like, I didn't really have any other beads. So very quickly I told myself, I need to find beads that are the same exact bead so I could sell like 20 of the same ring. And so I got on Etsy and I started shopping for beads, and now I'm addicted to shopping for beads. If I go on a vacation, I'm always constantly looking for like a bead store. Sometimes I get very lucky, other times not so much. Not all cities have bead stores, which is kind of sad. I feel like there should be a bead store on every block. Anywho's, so that's when I started really getting into, okay, like, how can I build this? I reached 1,000 followers within 2.5 months, which at the time and even today, that is a big accomplishment. I remember celebrating for that. Me and Noah went out to dinner. We were like, oh my gosh, like, you just got 1,000 followers on Blair's Bling. This is insane. At the beginning of Blair's Bling, I was still in college. I had about like a good 1.5 years left, and I always knew that I was going to finish college. There was never a thought of dropping out, ever. But there were times that I was like, ooh, I might not use my college degree. I always knew that after I graduated college, I would be fully focusing on Blair's Bling. And really, like, the second year of it, which would have been January to December 2022, I didn't see as much growth, but it was my last year of college, and I really, truly wanted to focus on finishing school. So as my college graduation started to approach, I began having people ask me if I had a job lined up after graduation, and I was like, how am I gonna tell these people? They're gonna think I'm crazy. I told them, no, I don't. My plan is my small business. It was really hard at first to have people that I truly cared about doubt me, but I was like, look, Blair, like, don't listen to the outside noise, because the only person you need to believe in you is you. And if you believe in yourself, you can do it. I graduated college in December of 2022, and I gave myself 6 months. 6 months to solely focus on nothing else but my small business. After 6 months, if you cannot support yourself financially, you will have to find another job. I think I was so determined, and I wanted this so badly. I started pretty much immediately trying out different types of content, seeing what would work, and finally, it was March 6th, 2023. I remember the date. I posted my first ever talking video. That video got 200,000 views overnight on Instagram, and I was like, this is it. This is it. I need to talk to the camera and just share who I am. Let my personality shine. From that day on, I started posting talking videos every single day. I did not skip a day, ever. And if I had to skip a day because I was sick, I recycled old content. And from there, I started seeing so much growth. And then July 1st came, which is the end of the 6-month time period that I gave myself to focus on nothing else but Blair's Bling. And I had to make the decision of what am I going to do. So it just so happens that same day was the day that one of my best friends was getting married. So I said, okay, Blair, put off the decision making until tomorrow. Let's enjoy your friend's wedding. Let's be present, be there for her. We'll make a decision tomorrow. That night after her wedding, I went home and I posted my video of the day. Next morning I woke up and that video had over 1 million views on the day that I was supposed to give myself a decision. It was definitely a sign from above saying, hey, like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Like, don't give up, keep going. And not only did I wake up to a video that had 1 million views, but I woke up to hundreds of orders. But my thing now was, is it going to stay consistent? I'm sitting here today. Clearly that means something. I am happy to say that my business continued to grow. From January 1st, 2023, it has been consistently growing. I do not know how I managed to run a business out of my 1-bedroom apartment. My office was my bedroom, and my bedroom was my office. I went to sleep staring at my workspace, and I woke up looking at my workspace. There was no work-life balance whatsoever. But because my business was consistently growing, I was able to move out of my 1-bedroom apartment and into a 2-bedroom apartment, where one of the bedrooms is an entire office for Blair's Bling. Blair's Bling has provided me with so much growth. I have truly found who I am and found out who I'm meant to be. I love that I can have my personality shine through my videos, and I love that my face is my brand. But that's the story of Blair's Bling, and I know I was rambling a lot, but it's YouTube, baby, it's YouTube. I can ramble for as long as I want. If you don't want to watch, you could have clicked out a long time ago, I suppose. Thank you so much for watching my very first YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed the story of how Blair's Bling came to be, and I'm so excited to create more content for this YouTube channel. Oh my god, I get to say it. Please subscribe to my channel and comment below any type of content that you'd like to see from me in the future. Bye!